This is still the hour of light with Ose Senteku, and we're taking last question for today on the issue of divorce. And of course, we've been reading from Matthew chapter 5, verses 31, 32, and Matthew chapter 19, from verse 3 to 9. The question now is, in the light of this discussion that we've just had, what can we learn here about marriage and divorce?
All right, that looks like the conclusion to me. What can we learn? What can we learn here about marriage and divorce? Or how can we, based on our general title, how can we begin to as believers, have a better view of divorce, relating with divorce as believers? Remember, I'm not talking to those who are not saved. I'm talking to believers. What should be our proper perspective? How should we relate based on everything we have said? This is what I will have to say. Number one, I want us as believers to always remember that God doesn't like divorce. There's no divorce that is taking place and God will clap and say, hey, no. Even if it means that somebody is about to kill you and you have to run away from the marriage, it's still a painful thing. God will prefer that that situation never takes place. So no Christian should ever take the issue of divorce lightly. No Christian should ever do that. The best way to avoid having a divorce is to marry right. Marry right. Now, I want to say something now. It might look a little bit controversial, but I'll say it anyhow. Because I believe in it. I believe that that is what the Word of God says. Don't marry with your heart. I hear people say it's a matter of the heart. Don't marry with your heart. Marrying with the heart is often foolish. Marrying somebody with your heart is often a display of foolishness. Don't marry with your heart. Marrying with the heart often leads to death. Now, we hear the story of Romeo and Juliet, and everybody celebrates Romeo and Juliet. Everybody, when we see two people in love, we say Romeo and Juliet. And many young people want to love like Romeo and Juliet. They want to love under very hazardous and dangerous relationships, on hazardous situations. I always tell people, remember that Romeo died and Juliet died. How did they enjoy their love? They never enjoyed their love. Their problem was that they were not marrying with their head. They were marrying with their heart. My heart wants him, but the situation is bad. So my advice is, don't marry with your heart at all. Rather, marry with your head. When I say marry with your head, I'm simply saying, get into marriage thinking. The reason why God gave us our head is so that we can use our head to think. If you don't think and you just follow promptings of your heart, your heart prompts you, gives you green or yellow or red light. It's a guide. But for real, total manifestation and effective planning, you have to use your head. That is why we don't prosper through our hearts. We prosper through our heads. It is through our heads we do business. It's through our heads we do things, because the brain allows you to calculate and plan. If we didn't need our head, God wouldn't give it to us at all. So when I hear people say, it's a matter of the heart, and a child is misbehaving, and the mother and father are saying, don't go that route. If you go that route, it's going to be saying, no, it's my heart. My heart wants him. My heart wants him. That's why a lot of people get married to the wrong people, because they are just following their feelings. It's feeling, but they call it a matter of the heart. Don't do that. When it comes to marriage, don't marry with your heart. Marry with your head. Marriage should never be a matter of the heart, but a matter of the head. I've said that before. Most divorces that happen, we already disasters waiting to happen. I'll say that again. Most divorces that happen, we already disasters waiting to happen. The signs and possibilities of divorce were always there even before the marriage. Call any person who has had a divorce. Ask them to be transparent and tell you exactly, looking back in hindsight, they will tell you that in one way or another, they knew that that marriage was not going to last. The signs are always there. But because we don't marry with our heads, but with our hearts, we ignore the signs and go into it. Because we just think marriage is all about feeling. And feelings are transient. Feelings are not permanent. You can feel good today and feel not good the next time. The weather can be hot now and the weather can be cold the next time. So if you base marriage on feeling, it doesn't work. So don't ever marry based on feeling. It should be based on reason and calculation. Be based on reason and calculation. And I also want you to know that I've said this, many people have argued with me. There is nothing like unconditional love. It's nothing, oh, I love him unconditionally. No, there's nothing like unconditional love. Nothing. Even the love of God for us is not unconditional. Many people will shout and scream at what I just said, but that's the truth. Yes, it is true that Jesus Christ died for us freely. Yeah, they say it's unconditional love. But you see, Jesus did not just come from heaven to die just like that. No. God didn't just send Jesus just to come and die like that. No. But Bible says the reason Jesus came was because that God, in bringing many sons unto glory, allowed the captain of their salvation to be made perfect through suffering. The reason why God allowed Jesus to go through that pain is because he wanted, through his death, to win us to himself. God wanted something. For God so loved the world that he gave. He wanted the world to save the world. He had to make an atonement so that he can save the world. He gave his son. That is what love is. So you have to be able to use your head to calculate. Don't get into this stupid thing about unconditional marriage. I don't care. Even if she's an idiot, even if he's an idiot, I just love him anyhow. I'm not expecting anything from him or her. That's nonsense. Why will you get into a marriage and not needing something from the partner? I'm married to my wife because I need her. I want to be valuable to her. I also want her to be valuable to me. We help one another. God never intended for love in marriage to be one-sided. So please don't be a fool in getting married. No, don't do that. Use your head to get married. Because when you look at all the indices, don't just marry a guy because he has 6 packs. What is 6 pack? One little disease can just come into the family tomorrow. The guy can no longer work out and the 6 packs will disappear and the stomach will fall down. And then, so what happens after that? Those are not the reasons to get married. So not the reason. So you should look well. The signs are always there. Signs are always there before the marriage. So don't let it be on feeling. But I will also say this. If you already have made the mistake and you're already in a dangerous, life-threatening relationship, your life is in danger. Don't allow any person on the basis of religion to tell you to stay there and die. It is your responsibility to protect yourself first. God allows that. God allows that. You don't open your eyes and allow something to come. So I've told you how bad it is, but at the same time, because of the hardness of the heart of people, if you have already made a mistake and you're already with a devil in the house, who happen to be your husband or your wife, if you stay there because of religion, and you die, God will tell you you came to heaven too early. Don't allow that. Go and seek for a divorce and start a new life. God bless you.